first Vocaloid, or considered
Is there a number
oh,
0?
no, uh, yeah, yeah, I guess you can say number zero. I mean, they're considered like the first voice bank. But actually, the first computer generated song was by an American, if I remember correctly. Actually, I should like fact check that. But the first ever computer generated song was actually in English. And do you remember? Do you know the Daisy Bell song?
Who?
The Daisy Bells,
I don't know what that
like
is.
Daisy, Daisy. I forgot the rest of the lyrics.
That sounds like an old sour cream commercial, I know.
It's an old song, and that was actually the first computer generated song. As a Vocaloid, the first Vocaloids ever created were Leon and Lola.
Who the hell is that?
The first Vocaloids. What do you mean? Who the hell are they?
Is this what you were talking about just before I started the stream? That you're like, I'm gonna blow your mind, Lizer.
I'm gonna blow exactly. This is it.
It's like, pull the curtain back for a second. I'm
And
gonna blow your
again,
mind.
and they were actually, because Vocaloids today are used by like anybody. Anybody can use them.
Mm-hmm.
The first two, which were Leon and Lola, so they were focused more on soul music.
Soul?
Soul, you know.
Uh huh.
And so they were both English banks. Leon was actually voiced by an African American singer, and Lola was voiced by a British singer, and they didn't do well.
I'd imagine.
Leon, well, Leon was more popular than Lola because a lot of people said that Lola's voice was very scratchy when they tried to do anything with her. And
Is this
but yeah,
them?
huh?
Is this them?
I don't remember seeing like any like of the artwork for them.
Oh, I literally just googled Leon and Lola Vocaloid and this came up.
No, they actually use like real people's pictures,
Huh.
like for the cover of the box. I mean, you couldn't see them, but they were like real life people
Okay.
for the box art, and they were created by a company called Zero G,
Okay.
and they were strictly only used for professionals. So it wasn't like they put these out there for just anybody to use.
So it's like basically for studio mixing sample stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I drank.
Hey, it's all good.
And so but then later on, the ones that we do know was by Krypton. The ones like Kaito, Luca, and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you know who was the very first Japanese Vocaloid?
Was that Miku?
Nope.
I hate this
You are.
podcast.
I'm telling you, I know. I don't know everything about Vocaloid, but I know a lot of things about Vocaloid.
I used to be really knowledgeable about them, but now I'm just like, I don't know anything.
No, like I said, because I know you said that you stopped listening to them, like, right?
Not so much stopped, but like just kind of tapered off.
No, I still like. I mean, there's periods of time where I will like won't listen to them, and then maybe like a few months later I'll pick them back up again.
Mm-hmm.
So like it varies.
So who's the first Japanese Vocaloid? Because apparently the tattoos are lies.
What? Say that again.
I said, who's the first Japanese Vocaloid? Because apparently the tattoos are lies.
They are actually, and the first one that was ever created was Maiko, which is hold on, which was this one. She was the very first one.
That's lewd.
I know, right? That's why I picked it.
Gonna get me banned. Excuse me, does that say first? One
Where?
TH?
First.
First.
She's the first.
She's the
She's the
first.
first one.
She's the one.
First. She's the one. She's the one. Okay, second question. Who was the first male Vocaloid?
See, my brain is saying Len, but I'm going to say Kaito.
Yes, you are correct.
Woo!
They are considered the first generation of Vocaloids. And here's Kaito.
Yeah.
Funny fact. He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
What? Wait, what?
He sounds like Kermit the Frog. Like, I hear it. Like, come on, like if you listen to one of his songs, he sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Okay.
But I still love him. Nothing against Kermit the Frog. Okay. Now, the moment of truth. Do you know who was the next Vocaloid?
After Kaito?
After Kaito.
Can I have two guesses?
Guess away.
My first guess is going to be the obvious Miku.
You're wrong.
Okay. So now I'm going to say... I don't know how to pronounce her name. Is it Gummy or is it Gumi?
I think it's Gumi. But you're wrong.
I fucking hate this podcast.
Okay. It's actually
Luca?
okay.
I don't know.
No, it's actually okay. Okay, don't freak out. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Don't freak out, okay? Because I'm going to send you a picture.
Is it safe to show?
So, it's safe. It's safe. It's safe.
Okay.
So
Don't get me banned.
So after Kaito was actually hold on. Was Sweet Anne. And a lot of people think, like, they say that it's Miku who was right after Kaito. But it was actually Sweet Anne.
What the fuck is that?
Sweet Anne.
Sweet Anne needs to get her sweet ass out of here. I don't like her smile.
That's the cover art for Sweet Anne.
Why does it look oddly racist?
Here I'll send another one of fan art there.
That is not the same person.
I said I'll send a fan art.
That's not the same person, even if it's a fan art.
Well, anyway, so
It's like
this
if I showed you a picture of Godzilla and then showed you a picture of a gecko, it's like, oh, it's fan art.
Well, okay, it's people draw pictures of like real life people, and it to be honest, they don't always look the same, like the actual person. They tweak it. Nothing wrong with that. If the person wants it.
What number Vocaloid is Miku?
Well, so this is considered Generation 1. And Miku is considered Generation 2.
So she's like the first one of Gen 2?
She's the first one of Gen 2.
Okay.
There's Miku.
There she goes.
Fun fact, Miku gets a model called Snow Miku every year. Yeah. With English. I don't know.
That's cool. It's cool that they keep it updated like that.
And so Vocaloids are generated vocals, like and they're called like voice banks. And basically what they are, people, like real life people will go in the studio and they'll like pronunciate like vowels and words and stuff. And so that way other people can get their voice. So like if somebody, I know a lot of people say like if they can't sing or whatever, would use their voices to produce music.
Right.
And vocal synthesis. Synthesis? synthesis.
Yeah, like a synthesizer.
So, yeah, so they're vocal synthesis. And so Miku is actually like the most popular and well-known one. And fun fact, well, I guess not fun fact, sad fact, Kaito is actually considered the failure vocal bank.
Good.
No, not good. I love Kaito so
Fuck
much.
Kaito.
So, when the Gen 1 came out with Maiko and Kaito, uh Maiko I think sold like a I feel like she sold over 1,000 or 2,000 copies, and Kaito only sold 500. And then yeah, and Miku, she sold I think like 20,000 in the first year.
Dope.
Yeah, so she's also like known as like the poster
Yeah, she's
of
the poster
Vocaloid.
child. She's the face.
Yes.
She's number
Hey,
one.
in a lot of people's eyes, she's number one.
Yeah.
I like Miku, but she's not my fave.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who came afterwards?
Uh, the Kagamins?
Yes.
Woo! I love this
Ding ding
podcast.
ding ding. Ding 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 ding. You finally got it right.
What do you mean finally? I've been getting them right this whole time. First try.
Sure. Okay. What is your perception of the like? Do you think they're twins? Do you think they're mirror images? Like, what do you see them as?
What do you mean? Like, do some people think that it's like they're the same person, just male and female versions?
Yeah,
I always took it as twins.
they are actually the same person. They actually share the same soul.
Soul? Excuse me?
Yeah, the same soul.
Alright.
By Krypton's words. Krypton's the one. But they allow the fans to, see it how they want to see it.
Fucking Krypton. I'm glad Krypton blew up.
Oh my god. Do you know who was after?
You've kind of like reached my knowledge on Vocaloids. That's it. That's just like all I know.
The next one is Luca, and she is actually
Oh
my
yeah, I
fave.
mentioned her earlier.
She's my fave.
What confused me, because from my limited knowledge of Vocaloids, because I haven't
Oops.
really been on the main
I
front of them in a couple of years, is I remember there being a thing where it was like people made like fan Vocaloids, and they weren't considered canon, and some of them were actually brought into the canon eventually, and it was weird.
Mhm. So they're a lot of people make their own. So like I mean, Vocaloid world is really confusing. There's a lot of Vocaloids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like canon Vocaloids, and then there's a lot of fan made Vocaloids, and the Uteo. A lot of people mess up Uteos for Vocaloids when they're not Vocaloids.
So that's the word
So
I remember, like Uteo, yeah.
yeah, that like the most popular one that people get mixed up is I don't Teto.
Okay, so here's where I want to step in for a second.
Okay.
My introduction to Vocaloid started with Miku and the Love is War video. And this was, like teenage years, first tattoo, dyeing my hair, mohawk. Like I was like a punk, basically. So that song, I heard it just like scrolling through YouTube when YouTube was a little baby website. And I was like hooked immediately. And I just craved more stuff like that. And even though I acted like a punk all the time, I also loved like really cute stuff. So I found the Triple Baka, which is what's playing in the background right now of the video. And that just like that launched me into Vocaloid. And I thought that that was like the main cast. I thought they were all Vocaloids. I had no idea. So here we have, from left to right, Akita Neru, Miku Hatsune, and what is her name?
Teto, she's the Utaloid. She's the Utaloid.
Teto Kasane, right?
Teto. Yep, she's the
Yes.
Utaloid.
So I knew them, and I knew that video, and I would sing like Teto had a part where all she was saying was over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just do that. Like I would be listening to it, and I just I just do that for so long, and people would be looking at me, and I didn't care. I was like a weeb. But I had no idea that they weren't actually Vocaloids until like I did research later on, because
I thought
I loved Akita.
I,
I loved Akita Nero so much. I loved her. Like, come on, you give me a blonde tsundere and you expect me not to love her? Like, come
she
on,
is a
really?
tsundere. Confirmed.
And
She
then
is a tsundere.
I found out she was actually supposed to be like the anti Miku, and she's fan made, and her name means like when you break it down, her name is got bored, went to bed, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where like one of the biggest Vocaloid songs from when I used to watch came from, and it was the disappearance of Miku Hatsune,
Mm-hmm.
because it was supposed to be like she's taking her down.
Okay. How I got introduced, this was like back in MySpace days.
Ooh,
And
way to date yourself,
like,
Celeste.
I know. Like there I remember going onto someone's profile and people were able to like have videos autoplay like once you go on somebody's profile.
Yeah, I hated that.
And so I remember going in and it was somebody's profile and they had Darkwood Circus playing. And I just, even it was haunting. Like it was something really different and I just like fell in love, and I remember staying on that person's profile like listening to it over and over and over and over again, and finally I just clicked on a link, went to YouTube, and found out that it was Miku Hatsune, and it was a Vocaloid song. I didn't know what Vocaloid was. I honestly thought it was an anime. For the longest time, I thought it was an anime. I was one of those. Like,
Me
what
too,
anime
yeah.
is this? Like, what anime is this? And people are like, it's not an anime, it's Vocaloid. And I'm like, okay, what is a Vocaloid?
What the
And,
hell is that?
they're just like singing. Like, they're just music videos. And that didn't give me any answers. I'm like, they're putting me in the music videos. I don't get it. What is it? And so then
You're like a teenage
I,
boomer.
and so then I started clicking, and so it went from Darkwood Circus, and I saw Maiko, which was the Honey Honey one.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you heard of that one, but that was the second one I ever listened to, and I was obsessed with it.
I haven't heard of either
Because
of these songs.
Darkwood Circus is a really like it's dark, like it's fucked
Oh,
up.
well, yeah, no, really?
It's fucked up. Like basically the whole video is about like kids being experimented on, and being like literally in a circus, for people to see.
That's one
And
thing I learned over the years of, like, when I used to be really into it, is that a lot of the songs had, like, really dark backstories to them.
yeah, and I didn't know at the time, but that Darkwood Circus was a series, and
Oh,
it was
okay.
a lot darker, because like I legit thought it was just that one song. Oh, what I love about Vocaloid is that a lot of songs have stories to them, and it's not just like one video. Sometimes they'll have like 2 videos, 3 videos, or 4. There is this one series, it's like the evilness one, and it's basically about like the 7 deadly sins, gluttony, pride, wrath, and all that stuff. That series alone, I kid you not, probably has like 30 videos to that story.
The one I remember is the Kagamine's 3 Tragedies.
I don't. Which one's that one?
It was just like 3 separate songs, but it was just like Ren and Lin put in these really like sad situations, basically playing characters.
Oh, is it? Is it the one where she's like a princess and then like?
That's one of them, yeah.
Well, that's the series I was talking about. There's actually 30 videos about that.
Oh, okay. So I guess they must have just taken three and been like, these are their three great tragedies, and I guess they took the three saddest ones or something.
No, yeah, no, it's a part. It's a part of a whole series. Like it's freaking 30 videos. It's like this series has like so much history that I still don't get it now. Because there's so much information. No, I mean like each character is like okay, like talking about Rin. She was the queen of this country. She falls in love with a guy who was in love with another girl, but then you find out that girl was actually not in love with him. She was in love with her best friend,
Ooh, that
and
skank.
no, no, she's not a skank. She was beautiful. Anyways, so she was beautiful. She loved her best friend, and like and she ends up getting killed by Rin in that series because Rin was jealous. She wanted all the green haired people to live. She Miku green hair, but Miku wasn't her name in the story, and Rin has her killed, and so then this war happens, and they go to like Rin, like Lin ends up like taking his own life for Rin to live,
Oh,
and
okay.
then Rin goes like, and so then Rin goes to this place to live like in solitude, but she ends up going to the same place as the best friend, and the best friend wants to get revenge on her, and but she can't kill her because she's too nice, I guess. And like it ends there, and I thought like that's the end of it. No, it's like freaking complicated. Apparently, like Adam and Eve are a part of this, and
What the
because
fuck?
Adam wanted, yeah, yes, and like Adam wanted to create I guess there was like this evil person that wanted to create like these monsters, but there's like somebody else like no, you can't do it, which what has to do with Miku, the one that died, that was in love with her best friend, that she had to go and save, but she ends up falling in love, and like it's like freaking like different directions. And apparently there's this like competition where these three girls, the four women, have to like fight to be queen, and like it's a lot, like it's a lot to take in,
Yeah,
like
it
so much
sounds like
shit
it.
is happening. Yeah, and it's just like there's this like each character that's brought in has a story, and you learn they have videos about that character's story. So that series is like, if you want to get into a series, like anybody watching, like holy crap, watch that. Because when I first got into it, I legit thought it was only 7 videos about the seven deadly sins. No, there's like freaking 30 videos. and one of the videos is like 20 minutes long.
Oh, jeez.
Like holy, yeah, like it's holy freaking crap. Like like I said, I'm very passionate about this.
Okay, so how about the videos I actually saw?
So I sent you the ones that were my favorite,
Uh,
that I like, and what's interesting about Vocaloids is that they're becoming mainstream, or they're not mainstream, but they're being recognized.
yeah.
You know, um,
Even me,
Miku.
who like hasn't kept up with it, I've recognized that because I know Miko has opened for like Lady Gaga, and she was at Coachella.
And she performed for David Letterman,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
and
that.
and she and a lot of artists have been sampling her music, which were the ones I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
So she's becoming like big, and she's becoming known now.
So, um, about the artist sampling her,
Uh huh.
you you have committed a very grave sin
What?
by forcing me to watch a a Bad Bunny video.
Bad Bunny, and he's really popular with the Latin culture, like very popular.
First off, I'm black.
I knew that was gonna. Shut up.
Second off, I can't stand Bad Bunny.
It's not my fault. He was one of the artists that sampled her. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I actually kind of enjoyed that song. I had no idea what the hell anyone was saying, but what was it? It was the Levin Polka Miku cover, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now the other one was Big Boy, and what did he sample the same song or was it a different song?
That was a totally different song.
I don't remember because honestly I didn't finish that one. I skipped it because I did not like that song at all. That is not my type of music at all.
It was so what Lizer is talking about. It was a rap one.
I like rap. I just didn't like that song. I was like, this is trash.
No, what I don't like about it is because it did degrade women. I didn't like that.
Oh, absolutely,
at all.
yeah. That's not even what I mean. Though. It was just a boring song. I was like, wow, I can't sit through this.
It degraded women, but I stayed for Miku. So
I stayed for the women.
I stayed for Miku. I had to support my girl, you know.
Okay, now
And
what about the actual like Vocaloid songs though, produced by Vocaloid?
What do you mean? What's
And the playlist, like the other songs that like not, samples on a song. What about the actual Vocaloid songs?
they're my favorite songs.
Is there
Yeah,
like
they're-
any one specific that you want to hear? Like, what did I think? Or do you just want me to go through my general thoughts of it?
Okay. I would like for you to go through them and tell me what you think.
Okay. Let me pull up the list just to refresh my memory on it.
I sent some lighthearted ones. I sent like one dark one. And I was gonna send more. You're lucky I didn't send you because okay, a lot of people like to do is they like to get the Vocaloid songs, and I kid you not, there's this one song by Luca, Kaito, and Miku, and it's called "Acute," and somebody replaced them with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward.
Oh, I hate that.
I was about to send you that, and I was like, I'm gonna save him the headache and not send that one.
So the first one I wanna talk about is I don't even know the name of it because it's in Japanese, but it's the fourth one in the list that you sent me. It's the one with Ren and Lin.
Oh, Bring It. It's called Bring It.
Oh, okay. Since when do they have heterochromia?
It's just the style.
It's just stylized for that video.
It's not stylized for that video. Bring It, like the costume, like hey. So what Lizer's talking about? I sent him a video of them performing in concert, and when they perform in concert, they have to get licensed for certain models. And so, yeah. So when you see like Vocaloids perform in concerts, they're using or I think they're like modules. I think they're called modules,
Yeah,
not models. And so with the modules, they have to get certain license to use them. So with this song, I guess they were able to get the license for that one.
Is that why they don't include all the modules in the Project Diva games anymore?
Yep, that's correct.
That was my favorite part of like Project Diva X was unlocking new modules. And then I got like the new one that came out recently, and it's not there. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. So, one of my favorite producers is Wowoka, and he did Rolling Girl. He does Unknown Mother Goose, which is on my playlist that I sent you. And when they released the new, I'm trying to remember the new. It's not Project Diva. Like projects. I'm trying to remember the new game they released for the PlayStation. I don't know if it's for the Xbox too, or I know it's on the Switch. But oh no, not the new one for the Switch, but the one before it. Or was it the one? No, for the one for the Switch. They actually had a voting of what song they wanted added in the game, and a lot of people wanted Unknown Mother Goose. But because of Wowoka's passing, they couldn't get the license to put it onto the game.
Oh, okay.
So they have to get permission from the producer of what if they can use that song, or if they or what module they can use for that song too.
Okay.
So that's why.
Now, the next one that I wanted to bring up was Blessed Messiah in the Tower of Al? I?
Of I.
I?
Of I.
Okay.
I.
That one was interesting.
Wasn't it?
I like that one. I will freely say I did like that one. And one thing I liked a lot was they kept framing Miku's face in a certain way throughout the video. And they do it 3 times. So this right here is the beginning. This is like 2 minutes into the song or so. Not even, probably like a minute into the song. And she's supposed to be like a messiah, and they're supposed to go on a quest to collect these things. It's her and like I'm guessing the rest are Vocaloids too.
The rest are Vocaloids, and they're on a quest to get these blessings.
Right.
To save the world, because they live in a world. So that's like I said, I love Vocaloids because people create their own stories and they create their own worlds.
Uh-huh.
And so with this one, they live in a world of youth, and because God claims it, like it's like forbidden or whatever, they have to go through like a mission I think it's like every 5 or 10 years. They pick a messiah, and the messiah has to go through this tower collecting the blessings, and then they have to go to the top. And once they get to the top, they are supposed to give the blessings so that world, the youthful world, can live.
Right. So this was her at the beginning. She's the messiah. All her friends are by her side. Blah blah blah. She's happy. She's ready to go on the adventure. Then the song goes on, and slowly, as they get to like the rooms that have the blessings, each of her friends are slowly like, I'm gonna take this one for myself, and like they're ditching her. And partway through, this is what they show. She has like, she's worried. She's not sure if she's gonna be able to complete this mission. She's not sure if she's gonna be able to save the world. Blah blah blah. But she still has people by her side. But you can see them like in the background. Like it's not fully animated. It's like kind of still animation. So you can see them in the background, and they look apprehensive as well. And then it continues even further, and finally we get this at like the very end, and all of her friends have taken everything. She goes to like this altar where she's supposed to present the 9 things, the 9 blessings, and she just has an empty torch. And they say something like this was the true test, to test like despair or something like that, and you've created 9 like sins or something like that, and this is like her final phase.
So do you get the whole story? Like did you get it?
I'm going to have to like look through it a couple more times to fully get it, but I think I do.
So what's happening is that she was supposed to go to the tower alone and collect the blessings, but her friends know what actually is happening in the tower, and each blessing is actually a trial she has to go through. And each trial, like the first one, I'm trying to remember, is like water. It's like she's supposed to drown. I know one's like magma. She's supposed to walk through like magma.
Yeah.
One is like earth
impossible
crumble, like
tasks.
the earth. Impossible tasks that she has to do. So her friends take it upon themselves to do it for her.
Yeah. So they're actually sacrificing themselves, but throughout the song, it's framed as if they're betraying her.
Yep.
And then it's revealed
She
at the end
know.
that they saved her. What confused me though is when they said that like she's now released the sins, and I was like, what does that mean?
That one, yeah, I still don't understand.
Because that makes it seem like she did the wrong thing, and now she's at fault for it.
But what I'm thinking too is that maybe since she has this knowledge, like this is my fan theory, that she has the knowledge and maybe she's gonna find a way to stop this cycle. That's my fan theory.
Okay, that's interesting. I can see that. I can see that being
Also,
the thing that they come up with.
Also, another note, you should definitely check out this producer's other work. Like they have top tier videos. Like they probably like post one video. Like I mean, they do like random like draw ones, but they post like one video, like maybe every like 3-5 months, and all their videos are so good. Like I had to stop myself from sending you all their videos. But I'm like, no, this is like my absolute favorite one from them, so I'm just gonna send this one.
Okay. So then the next one that I want to bring up, I had actually seen already. Um, and it's the Miku Gumi live concert one.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually seen that one, but I actually really like the the way that it's framed on stage and everything. And I like that
Mm-hmm.
they start out in like laptops and they're breaking out. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I obviously I have no idea what the hell they're saying because it's in Japanese. Um, but like here's Miku inside of a laptop and the screen's cracked and she finds like I think it's a hammer
Yeah, she finds a hammer.
and she starts like breaking at the glass of the screen and it starts cracking little by little and eventually it breaks fully and she like runs out onto like the keyboard section and she's like made her escape and she jumps off. It looks like a powered up jump because like light gathers around her
Yeah,
and then she does
it's beautiful.
like a superhero landing like and her headphones fly off and she has to pick them back up
Yeah.
and then she just like goes straight into the song like a freaking badass and the song itself sounds great. I don't know what they're saying but it sounds great and I like this little thing that they did here where she would lean to the side and put her arm out and the
And
words
then
were
the words,
extending.
yeah.
I
It
love
actually
that.
like it legit like looks like I can touch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're holograms.
I know they're holograms, but I mean like it looked so realistic because there's like you know it has to do too with you know the camera work how you know the camera's position because sometimes when the camera positions like at a certain angle, it doesn't look as good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But like this right here was just perfect. Like I loved it so much.
So then she's singing for a while, and then Gumi comes out, and she's in another laptop on the other side of the stage, and she's saying like she's gonna burn the house down, she's gonna run away, and then she also picks up the hammer and starts doing the same thing, and she's bashing the screen. And then, I love this, was that she just like says "fuck this" with the hammer,
Yes.
and just starts like kicking the screen, and somehow gets out faster than Miku did with a hammer, and she
She
jumps down.
headbutts it. She headbutts it too.
Yeah, and then she jumps down, and I thought it was pretty cool that she also does her superhero landing, and it's so powerful that it sends Miku jumping.
I love it.
Yeah, that's I really like that video a lot. That's probably my favorite out of the ones you sent.
This is actually a mashup of two different songs, and this is my favorite mashup ever.
Uh huh. And then, um, bacterial contamination.
I know that's the dark one I sent you.
So two things.
Mm.
I didn't expect to see like half dead Miku's titties, and also it was just fucking gross. Like, look at this shit, dude. Miku
Well,
turned into like the
fun,
fucking roach from Men in Black 1.
fun fact: that's not actually Miku.
What is
That's
that?
I don't remember the name. Like I don't remember the name, but that's actually it's been confirmed that that's not actually Miku. That's a different Vocaloid.
Well, she's fucking ugly. um,
I know this one is very like I said, there's other dark ones I want. Like I said, I wanted to send, but I wanted to keep it more lighthearted.
right.
But yeah, so I'm like, this one will do.
Yeah. So, in in terms of lightheartedness, Just Be Friends.
Oh my gosh, by Luca.
Yeah, that was tough to get through.
Was it
Yeah, that one like really hit hard for me.
the and uh, it's not funny, but I'm trying to see how I can word it. she's singing it, but she's singing it in the perspective of the guy's point of view.
Right. Because the way I took it, and this is just based on auto-generated subtitles and my understanding, was they were together and they found out that she was like sick and dying, and
She's not dying.
I'm saying my perception of this.
Oh.
She's like sick and dying, and they decide, instead of having him deal with this pain, she tells him, she doesn't reveal to him that this is happening to her, and she like tries to break it off and let them just be friends.
That's interesting for you to say that, because I did not read it as like I said, this is, everybody reads it differently. Everybody does.
Yeah, but that's why it hit home for me, because that was a situation I was in.
Sorry.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just like wow, like I really had to like take it slow with that one.
Regards. Regards sending you that one, because the reason why I said that one of Luca, because that was the very first Luca song I heard.
Oh, really?
That's the first Luca one I heard, and actually that's the one, because when I listened to Darkwood Circus and I listened to Michael's Honey Honey, and then I found Luca's Just Be Friends, and that's why I was like, oh, is this an anime? Because of how the art style is. So I was like, oh, it's an anime. And that's what I was told. No, it wasn't an anime. They're Vocaloids.
Okay. Then the next one after that was Dune.
Yes, Dune.
I like that one. We had a little laugh about it because I took a screenshot to show Celeste. The generated subtitles, all they said was like woo hoo woo 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 hoo. I was like, but what is she saying? Like, woo hoo woo 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 woo. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but it sounded really cool.
Okay, so funny story. This song was actually very controversial amongst the Vocaloid community.
Okay, hold on. I want to talk a little bit about visuals first, and then I want to talk about my interpretation.
Yeah, go on.
Because I'm sure that will be part of that. So first, I want to say the design for Miku was kind of weird looking to me. Like, it felt like her proportions were weird.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's weird seeing Miku in jeans, to be honest.
Yeah.
She did. The art style was very different, yeah.
Like, it looks like I get she's wearing like a big shirt and jacket, but it feels like her proportions are off. Like, it feels like her neck is super long, and then her shoulders don't start until like where her wrist is. In this picture where she's doing like the double piece, it looks like her shoulders are where her wrist is at, and I was like, that's really weird to see that. And then they kept showing this of her like walking through the desert with this like squad behind her, and she's like wearing like Nikes and jeans. I was like, that's not Miku. And then like out of nowhere they just show like old school Miku, and like that looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the usual like pleated skirt, stockings, like that whole ensemble, and that looks fine. So why does the design look so different for that? And that just kept bugging me. Like, it's not bad. It just seemed off. You know?
I get you.
And then as far as the actual song and the meaning behind it, I was bopping to the song. I like the song a lot. And just like looking through comments and trying to figure it out, because obviously the subtitles weren't helping me.
Whoa.
It seemed like it was a song about like she was losing popularity, and like people like it showed like the crew behind her walking. Sometimes they would leave and like other ones would come in, and that's supposed to be like, she's losing popularity, but the producers would go on and do other things and leave her behind, and like other people would join in. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense from like a visual standpoint of like the meaning behind it, but isn't she getting super popular and like she's frontlining for American celebrities now, which is like huge for a Japanese artist?
Okay, so the whole point wasn't really mainly focused on Miku. It was about producers, like you said, finding their own, their own style. It ended up like branching off and then new artists coming in. The controversy about it was, like we were saying, where artists like other producers thought that I'm trying to remember Hachi is becoming a big producer. He's writing a lot of songs for a lot of Japanese artists. He's actually wrote a lot of anime opening songs,
Uh huh.
and like he's doing that now. That's his work. And then he ended up coming back and doing this song, and a lot of producers took it offensive because they saw it as that Miku is dead, the fandom's dead, and so the producers are the producers were like, that's not true,
Mm-hmm.
but in reality his message was a battle cry. It was a battle cry
Like
saying
there
that
will
they need
always
to
be people behind her.
there will always be people behind her and that she'll still rise up.
Right. And I I know for a fact that he has said in the past, because when he does other things, now that he's gotten so popular, he doesn't use the name Hachi.
No, he goes by his actual name, if I
Yeah.
remember
So
correctly.
he
Yeah.
he was quoted once as saying, "No matter what I do, I will always come back to Vocaloid and to Miku Hatsune because it feels like home. I will
Hmm.
always come back as Hachi."
Hmm.
I think that's a really good quote to show like what his intentions are there.
Yeah. Like it was, yeah, a lot of producers thought it was like him slapping them in the face when really he wasn't.
Right. Um, but I like that one a lot. It was really cool to see that one. And then the last one, which was also the last video on the list, was Luca Witch.
Witch hunt.
Yeah, Witch Hunt. Um, that one, the song itself, I was like, it's whatever.
Hmm.
I like the video, and I'm sure you want to talk about the message behind that one,
Oh,
right?
it's basically a witch hunt.
Yeah, but
so so
it seemed like there was like different interpretations in the comment section.
yeah,
So yeah, go ahead.
the whole song is basically about a guy and a girl falling in love, and like there's, like you said, there's people have their different ways of explaining it, but how I see it was that how I interpret it is that a lot of people see the, because okay, so the guy I think is maybe like some royal, like he has power.
Yeah, he's like a prince or something.
He's a prince or a duke or something, but he has power. And a girl who's new to the town comes in. They meet. They end up falling in love, and there's a priest, which is played by Miku. And the priest, a lot of people sees the priest as a jealous girl who wants the prince's attention. But how I interpret it is that I see it as a priest who honestly thinks that she's a demon. Because in my mind, when I think of priest, I don't see priest as, like wanting some, I don't know, like I said, me like wanting someone. So my thing was, I think Miku honestly thought that she was a demon. And so she tells the prince who is in love with her, like, hey, no, she's a demon. Like she's not, who you think she is. And of course he believes her. And so they ended up, tying her to a cross,
I think it
and
was
they
just a
light her on.
regular post.
No, I think it's a cross. And or doesn't matter. They tie her up. They tie her up, and they light her on fire, and the guy, the prince is sad. Like that's the girl he loves,
Oh man, I
and
was gonna bang her.
basically, yeah. And during it she like grows wings and she flies off.
Yeah.
And a lot of people see it as that she was actually an angel sent down from the heavens, and because that she had fallen in love and she was betrayed, she ended up becoming what they wanted her to be, a demon.
Okay. So that's basically what I thought as well. because having done like religious practice when I was younger, and seeing and writing a lot of, you know, stories involving angels on Earth, it's a very common trope that when they feel immense despair or stuff like that, they it's like they lose hope in
Hmm.
God basically, and their pure white wings will turn black. And it's not
Hmm.
so much that they've become evil, but they've been tainted by the sins of the world, or something like that. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's like they lose the halo and stuff like that too. Um, so that's kind of what I thought. As far as like you said, you don't see the priest as being like jealous. Uh, I see that a lot in fiction and in some real things,
Hmm.
where it does happen. Even something as, you know, it's an old movie, but it's a very popular movie. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney movie.
Uh-huh. Oh my god.
Rollo, the priest. Yeah.
Hellfire.
Oh, that's an amazing song. That's one of the best Disney songs ever.
That's one of the best ones. I love that
Yeah,
song so
that song's
much.
amazing. But that's a prime example of like a man of the cloth who is actually like supremely evil,
Uh-huh.
and like he thinks he's doing everything in God's name, but he's really tainting God's name. And I can very easily see that being a thing in this video.
My girl, no.
And that pretty much completes it. Like all the other things that I didn't mention is just because they didn't really stick out to me. They were just songs. Like they were okay, but definitely not my favorite. But these ones that I mentioned here, except for the fucking roach, I liked the ones that I brought up.
The and it's funny, I actually thought you were gonna get more in depth with the roach one.
Oh fuck that! I hated that shit. I
Yeah.
absolutely hated that. I actually saw it for a while after I closed my eyes.
uh
It
no.
made me queasy.
Okay, funny. I mean, like I said, I don't know why I say funny fact because this is not a funny fact, but like I guess interesting fact. For some reason, when I'm like in my lowest points or my like darkest days, I have the tendency to watch dark Vocaloid songs,
Okay,
and
this
and
is a very common thing, and people like they look at me when I say things like that, and like that's fucking weird. If you're feeling sad, why would you look at sad things? It like helps you release emotions.
yeah, and like that was like I went down a rabbit hole of like listening to like the most like fucked up Vocaloid ones
Uh huh.
because there's a lot of fucked up ones out there. Like,
What is your favorite Vocaloid song?
don't I like a lot. Like,
Okay, so when you're in like a low point like that, what is your usual go to Vocaloid song? That's like a dark one.
I don't it's honestly like when I say dark, I mean like not sad dark. I mean like freaking messed up, fucked up, dark, and
Right, yeah, but what is your, do you have like a specific go to one that you start off
not
with?
not not with dark, not with dark.
Okay,
Honestly,
so
like I just one.
the reason I was bringing that up is because I've told you plenty of times over the years of what my favorite Vocaloid song is, which is Chain Girl, and it's a Miku song, and it's like it starts off kind of dark. Have you heard it?
I've no, I don't think so.
So it starts off kind of dark, and basically what it is her. Like the visuals are actually Miku there, and she's chained, and she's like kind of dirty, not like she's a slave or being beaten or anything like that, but she's like trapped basically.
Hmm.
And it starts off with lyrics like I failed the test and blah blah blah, like that kind of thing. But eventually it starts to get more serious, and she's saying like I feel like I have no control over my own life. I'm just a puppet, and I don't know who's controlling me. I don't know where to go. I don't know where this road's going to lead me, and all I can do is just follow it. And I have no control over my own decisions. Everything's being done for me.
Hmm.
And you know, like if a real life pop star said this kind of thing in a song, it'd be a cry for help.
Hmm.
And for me personally, that was like a hard hitting thing, because for so long in my life, I felt like I had no control over my own things that I can do because, of like different issues in my own life. And it felt like I just had to stay on this straight path. And then by the end of the song, the chains dissolve and they break away to light, and it suddenly becomes a hopeful song. Like the tempo picks up, her voice hits a new octave, and she's still saying like, I don't know who the master is. I don't know who makes up the grand scheme, but now I am going to make my own decisions, and I'm in control now. And that's where I feel like I'm at now in my life right now, where I feel like nothing was ever truly holding me back in the most literal sense. But now I've realized that, and I can move on, and I can do my own thing. So before we started the podcast, as I've said plenty of times over, I haven't really been into Vocaloids majorly for the past couple of years. This song came out a little over 10 years ago. So I was like, I want to revisit it and see how I feel now. One, I still feel the same. It gives me massive goosebumps. Two, I had no idea, but they redid it with new visuals, and like it's not a remix, but they've just like re-recorded the audio so it's better quality. And just chills down my spine. It's so good. I definitely recommend this song to people.
I'll definitely check that out. Well, it's interesting too. What I love is that some producers will go back to their old work and like reprise them. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So it was like a 10-year anniversary thing, and literally the only difference between the two versions, aside from quality, is just like the intro. She's kind of like sing talking, and in the original it's like part of the song, but in the remake it sounds like it's a separate piece. And it's my favorite Vocaloid song.
I gotta check out both versions.
Yeah, followed closely by Love Is War, because that was my intro song to the whole Vocaloid thing. And funny enough, Butterfly on Your Right Shoulder.
Oh, by Len? Yeah.
So no, here's the thing. There's a Len version and there's a Rin version. I don't like either one of them. But there is a Len and Rin version together, and that one is amazing.
I gotta check that one out. I've only heard the Len one.
Yeah, they've done it live. I don't know if it's ever been like its own song on its own, but I know that they've done it live on stage with both of them together. And it starts off with Rin, and she's singing alone. And then, through the power of not being real people, Len steps out of her, and they start singing together. And the crowd goes crazy.
See that.
Yeah, it's so
good. I
good.
gotta see that.
I love it. It's so good. That's like my favorite Len Rin song together.
Okay, so actually, my favorite one, like Vocaloid song, is Rolling Girl. I love Rolling Girl so much that I actually learned how to play the intro on the piano.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I learned how to play like the intro, like and it's funny because a lot of people, when they don't, hear the lyrics, they don't think of it as a sad song. But it's a sad song.
I wanted so bad for you to be like, oh, my favorite Vocaloid song is World Is Mine. or like Popey Po.
The World Is Mine. But no, that's a good one, and it doesn't have a happy ending. That's the thing. It doesn't have a happy ending. But I still love it, and I remember when that game, when I think it was Project Diva F2 when the DLC dropped and it had Rolling Girl on it. I remember I purchased it and I played that song like no one's business. I love it so much, and it's a song I still play over and over again.
I haven't seen Chain Girl in any of the Project Diva games, and that makes me sad. Because like even though I haven't been keeping up with Vocaloid, I still get the games. They're still fun to play.
Oh, by the way, people, Vocaloid's so popular. They have a lot of games.
A lot of games, like surprisingly.
For the PS Vita, the PS4, the Nintendo Switch, and I've always bought. So I remember I had it for the PS3. I remember when Project Diva F2 came out for the PS Vita and the PS3. I bought both versions. Like I supported the crap out of them.
There's a lot of them, and they're really good. They're your basic rhythm games for the most part, but just to have like the characters in front of you, and I know some games let you swap out which characters sing the song, and it actually changes the voice. It's really good. I
It's
My personal recommendation would be Project Diva X, just because it has the addition of the modules that like you can be playing a song, and if you do really well on a certain part of it, your character will change mid song, and it'll be a new costume or a new character altogether. And you get to, if you finish the song and you do well, you get to keep it, and you can just continuously unlock them.
my favorite, like till this day, is always gonna be Project Diva F second. Always. So Project Diva F, and it's funny because I remember when Project Diva F came out, it was only like at first it was only in Japanese, and I really wanted the game, and I still bought it for the PS3. And I remember I had to go through like I can't read kanji whatsoever, and I had to guess. I had to guess a lot, but that was my first. That was my very first Project Diva game,
Uh-huh.
and I still buy them
Yeah.
till this day.
So you guys can either get a newer version, you can get an older version. She recommends F second. I recommend X. The only downside to X is that there's like very few songs on it, honestly.
I was about to say X is actually my least favorite one
Because of the amount of songs.
because the amount of songs and how we get the modules. I personally don't like it.
I love
I
that part. It's a nice little
I
challenge.
I I mean, cause like I would play that game, and like if I want a new Ren costume, and like I said, the amount of songs they have for like the other character, like the other Vocaloids, like is really sad.
Yeah.
Because if I want to get a Kaito song, like I mean a Kaito module, I have to play like, and it's like you don't have to use the module for like that specific song. Like you can change like Miku's with Ren, but it's still Miku's voice bank, you know.
Yeah.
So it just it's weird, you know. And so if I want to play like like luckily for Project Diva X, they have Ren's song "Lost One's Weeping," which is one of my favorite Ren songs, and I regretted not sending you that one. I ended up I ended up sending you Tengoku, but I love Tengoku too. That's one of my faves. But yeah, like it sucks because I have to play the song over and over and over and over, and sometimes I get the same module, like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
and
thing.
I'm like, and I get pissed because I'm like, no, give me a new one, and I'll get like one of those modules that because like each module has like certain effects, and then one of them is like guarantees you a rare one, and I'll play that one, and it gives me like a rare one that I already have, and I'm like, what's this?
Yeah, that is definitely a downside, especially if you're trying to unlock all of them. It becomes
Mm-hmm.
a hassle. Um,
and then like with this one, like what I like about this one because this one kind of gives you like missions, and I love the mashups. Like I actually love like what I love about the X is that you have those mashups, and I lost my train of thought. This always happens to me. I legit lost my train of thought.
those mashups.
Yeah, but I don't remember where I was going. Oh, because I was talking about the missions.
Uh
What
huh.
I like, okay, so what I like about the game is I like the that it kind of like gives you missions, and I like the mashups. But what I don't like about the missions is that it's repetitive, you know. Like I beat the whole thing, and it's like, oh, like because you have to fill up clouds, like the clouds are dark, and you have to like light them up by playing a song, and then you beat it, and it's like you have to do it all over again, but you have to get more points, and it's just like, give me new songs, please. Hey, that's that's Project Diva Not is it F2nd? It's Project Diva F2nd.
My guy was going ham.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. With Project Diva F, Project Diva F2nd, you have these rooms and with the Vocaloids, and you can do interactions with them.
Uh-huh.
That's another thing I like about Project Diva F and F2nd. And
So
see that's what it is. That's one of the that's Len's room,
yeah,
and they gave him the maracas, and because when you give them like certain like items, they do certain things with them like that.
and he just fucking went off.
Yep.
Um, so every week we do the swap and everything, and we say, oh, are you going to continue? Now, from last week when we were talking about VTubers, and then you mentioned Vocaloid, I knew that my answer at the end of it would be yes, I am going to continue. Because I never truly stopped. It's just kind of like an on and off again relationship.
Yep. Yep. That's how it is with me. Like
Yeah.
it's always on and off. Like I'll be in the mood for it, like, and then I won't listen to a Vocaloid song till like a few months later.
Yeah, and then it'll just be an absolute binge.
Yeah.
And I somehow always end up going back to the old stuff too.
The classics are always a jam.
Yeah,
Always a jam.
they're so good. I always go back to obviously Chain Girl, but one that I also never miss is Love Is War. I always go back to Love Is War.
Love is War is a good one.
Um, and then of course the games. Every once in a while I pop the games in and I play those too, because I'm not very good at them, but I do like rhythm games.
If he were to go on the PS4 and see me playing, 8 out of 10 I'm playing Project Diva.
If not, you're playing like a game with me.
Yeah. By the way, we need to play a game together.
Sure. So is there anything else you wanna add before I leap into what next week's topic will be?
I'm like trying to think if I covered everything. I think I covered everything. Yeah, I'm good. Like, guys, come on, gotta listen to some Vocaloids.
Yeah.
Honestly, they have genres for like almost everything.
Yeah, it's a very broad category. Like Vocaloid can be its own category, and it just has like a million subcategories in it.
Yep, and like I'm saying, like there's stories. There's some that have stories. There's some that are just like songs. But seriously, like, I'm pretty sure if I wasn't into Vocaloid, I don't know. I like anime, so if I see this, I'll probably be interested. But I mean, I've met people, that don't watch anime and they like Vocaloid songs.
Yeah, and it can work either way.
So give it a try, people. Vocaloid all the way.
Okay. So now we get into what next week's topic is going to be, and it's my turn. Yay! So I have a question for you. Do you like jazz?
Might have it. No. Kind of. I kind of like jazz. Kind of depends.
So before I say anything, I want to know why you reacted that way.
I don't know. I'm kind of like nervous. I'm not kind of nervous. I am nervous.
Why? What do you think it is?
My mind's going somewhere different, and I know that's for a fact. It has no jazz in it, like, whatsoever, so I don't know why I'm thinking that.
Wait, what is it?
I don't want to talk about it because you might have... It's a bad anime, and I don't want to talk about it.
Well, so you kind of like jazz, huh?
Kind of, it depends.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you knew this day was coming since we decided to do this podcast together.
Are we going back in time?
You have to watch 5 episodes of Beastars.
Oh my god! My mind was somewhere different!
I've been trying to get Celeste to watch Beastars since, like, episode 1 dropped on Netflix.
I thought you were gonna say Cowboy Bebop.
Nope. And that's exactly why I chose that, because that's where I figured your mind was gonna go.
I was like, I like Cowboy Bebop.
It was a ruse.
It was. I wasn't expecting this shit.
Finally, you have to do it.
Guys, Elijah's been talk like he. I remember when he was like so into this, he would like. Oh my god, no.
I would just like send her voice recordings, like, so you like B stars?
Wasn't there like a running? I'm pretty sure there was like a running joke for a while.
Of what, me asking you to watch B stars?
Beastars, and I think I was talking about like the wolf and the bunny.
Yeah, you kept saying I don't want to see the wolf fuck the bunny, and I was like, that's not what the show's about.
There you go. Yeah.
She kept calling me a furry. I'm like, I'm not a fucking furry.
I'm like, I don't want to watch your furry shit.
It's legitimately a good show though. It's like how would I label it? It kind of starts off with like a murder
Furry?
mystery. Fuck off. It starts off with like a murder mystery, and
I
it
could,
becomes
I
like
would.
this social thing about like different class systems and interacting with each other, and like you know, your body, your choice. Like it hits all these different topics.
All I remember is that the bunny sells her body.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, I could have sworn you told me the bunny sells her body.
No.
I guess not.
I said that was the thing that people kept saying, and she doesn't.
Oh,
You'll understand because you gotta watch 5 episodes.
I will.
Season
watch
2
that.
comes out soon. Woo, I'm so excited. I look like Len right now, just waving maracas around.
you guys don't understand. He's been wanting me to watch this shit for like ever.
Beastars came out, I think, like 2 years ago at this point, and I saw it at premiere, and I've been bugging Celeste to watch it ever since. Like, Legoshi is voiced by Jonah Scott, who like streams on Twitch, and he's just like he banks on that shit. Like, I think just the other day he uploaded a video where like everyone's doing like Christmas cookie videos, and he's like, I'm decorating Legoshi cookies. It's like, really?
Oh my God. Damn. I wish I could bank on that shit.
Watch the 5
God.
episodes and we can make Legoshi cookies.
Oh my god, no. No.
Do it.
It'll be too late.
Oh man, you guys have no idea how happy I am that I'm finally getting her to do this.
I think
It's literally just the power of the podcast that's making her do it, because she would not be watching it otherwise.
Hey, I watched that other one, the raccoon one.
That one was good.
That one was good. I didn't finish it, but that one was good.
I'm gonna week after next, I'm gonna put that, and you have to watch the last 5 episodes.
Oh my God. How many episodes is in that one?
I don't know. I think 12. I think they're about the same. Yeah, there's only one season each of them.
God, the raccoon. Hey, the raccoon one was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, but I liked that one. That one I actually did talk to Liza about for a while.
Yeah.
I have the habit, like, even if I'm into an anime, doesn't matter if I like the anime, doesn't matter if I don't like the anime, I have the habit of when I watch anime, I watch up to, like, a certain, like, part, and I just, like, stop, and I'm like, I'll finish it today, and I don't finish it. And I'll be like, I'm in the mood to watch it, but I still don't watch it.
Yeah, I do the same thing a lot. Which is vastly different to when we were younger, and to be like, I watched 2 seasons today. Like, what?
I know. Like, I remember, like, too, like, I was one of those freaking weebs. Like, yeah, I've watched this, and this. Oh, yeah, I watched this in this amount of time. Or, yeah, I watched these, in this span. Like, oh my god. I was so annoying back then. Dude, I used to, like, bug Lizer, like, to the point where I would turn off an anime for him.
Really?
Yes, I remember you told me. I forgot what anime it was, but you told me that I talked about an anime so much that I turned it off for you and that you refused to watch it.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what anime it was, but you told me, and then that's why I'm like, okay, I gotta keep my mouth shut.
I don't doubt it. But I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember the anime. I don't remember, but I remember I would talk about it like every single day, and that it annoyed the shit out of you, and you're like, just stop.
Oh
And I
no.
did, and I did.
Oh man.
That's why. And that's why I said I'm glad I'm not that type of person no more, because I'm pretty sure that it does get annoying.
I mean, it happens though. Like I'm sure we were younger back then, so it was like I don't want to
We
deal
were
with this anymore.
no, we were younger back then. That's the
Yeah.
thing, we were.
Yeah, so it was like I was less willing to deal with something like that. But even now, like now when I'm definitely an adult, I'm not gonna reveal my age because there might be some like old man who wants to touch my butthole. Um, but like I get one thing here. Fun fact about Lizer, I really love Broadway musicals, and
Fact.
yeah, and I know I can like talk people's ears off about them, especially the ones that are my favorites, and I know it gets super annoying, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm just really passionate about this.
What one movie that me and Liza are very passionate about is Anastasia.
Whew. It's my favorite movie of all time.
That's a good movie. Did you know she's being considered a Disney princess now?
Yeah. So here's a little side tangent, guys. As I just said, that is my favorite movie. Um, Bluth made that movie with Fox, and it was supposed to be basically a message to Disney saying we can make quality movies. We don't need your money. We don't need the big staff you have. We can make something people will love without your funding. And it was like a big fuck you to them. And then now
Mhm.
Disney bought Fox and has just taken Anastasia and been like, hey, this is our stuff now. And it's basically just telling Bluth to fuck off.
I cry.
I cry every time.
I cry. I know my friends like been posting like Anastasia, and it's like, yeah, about that. That's mine. Step away.
We should do an episode about Anastasia.
We should.
Yeah, I'd be down
Maybe
for that.
that'll probably be the next episode. Like not the next one, but the one after.
Yeah, because next episode is Beastars.
I know. or we can make it next episode.
Nah.
Come on.
So, as we close out, I do want to say one last thing that we promised to say last time, and it's the story of how we met and how it relates to Vocaloid.
Oh, that's the reason why I brought this up, because this is an homage to our friendship.
Yes. So do you want to tell it or should I?
You should tell it, because I remember bits and pieces, but I know you have a better memory than I do.
Yeah, but I'm getting up there, so my memory's getting kind of foggy too. But basically, we were both cringe kids.
Very creepy, like I said earlier.
Yeah, Facebook was kind of new. We each had like, here's my personal page, but I'm going to make a side page where I can roleplay. Cause that was the cool kid thing to do, was roleplay. So I, being the little shit nugget I was roleplaying as Len Kagami because I had an obsession with blonde hair and blue eyes because I guess I'm secretly a Nazi or some shit. God, nobody take that out of context. And I loved the Kagami twins, and apparently they're not fucking twins anymore. And I would just roleplay as Len very poorly, and I entered a
That was
group.
the beginning.
Huh?
I'm like, that was the beginning.
Yeah, I entered a group. I don't even think it was focused on Vocaloids. I think they just had like a Vocaloid time, and there was like a chat going on. And,
It was a group chat.
Yeah, it was a group chat going on. Not like a private, but like in comments of like a post, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And a few of us in that chat were like, hey, this is fun. Let's continue outside of this. Because there's like a bunch of other people. So it was what, like 4 or 5 of us?
Yeah, it was like, it was not that, it was just a handful of people.
Yeah, and we made our own private chat and messages. And just started, going back and forth with role playing. And then the longer we did it, like, I guess we felt comfortable with each other, which is incredibly stupid because we were strangers on the internet. And we started revealing like personal information, and
Don't do that, kids. Keep your identities a secret.
yeah, and eventually it became like, here's my real page, here's my family, here's this and here's that,
Here's
and
my social security number.
yeah, and like for the case of me and you, we went from like complete strangers to roleplay buddies to now I consider you like my sister.
We're very close.
Yeah, it's been like close to 15 years now that I've known you.
Yeah, me and Wiser,
Jesus.
we're family. We consider each other family.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I didn't roleplay as a Vocaloid. I roleplayed as Shammy from Ano No Exorcist.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. And we had the Kaito role player. Remember him?
I don't remember.
Oh man, he was in our chat. He was in the messages too, in the private messages. And he was claiming that he was a popular cosplayer in Japan.
Oh, yes.
And he was cosplaying Kaito. But this man spoke perfect English, and he would say that he has broken English and everything, which was like a big flag. And he gave us like the most basic of basic Japanese names, which is Sora, and he was explaining how that meant sky. He was never active in times that a Japanese person living in Japan would be active, because obviously time zone difference. He was always active during American time zones. And he would just give us like the most basic stock photos. And like, oh, this is what I did today, and it's just like stock cosplay photo. And I'm like, dude, you're not who you say you are, and we know you can drop the act. Like, you don't have to roleplay beyond the roleplay.
Like, we don't care about that shit.
He had like 4 layers of roleplay going on. We were like, dude, just stop. And I think his girlfriend was in the thing too, and they both left.
Yeah.
Because they saw that we were just like no longer interested. It just stopped being a roleplay group, and it just became us being friends, and we were just talking.
Yeah, we were just chatting.
So
man,
that's our cringy ass origin story. Freaking role players into podcasters.
In on Facebook.
Yeah. Guys, don't give out your personal information on Facebook.
Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. One of two things will happen if you give out personal information on Facebook. You'll be murdered, or you'll be put in a podcast. Which one's worse?
So, it's the podcast now. I have to watch the pieces.
Yep, I knew it. Alright, well that's it for this one. Hope you guys will be back next week to see Celeste's reaction to Beastars. I feel like she'll actually kind of like it, but she probably won't continue it.
I'll probably pretend that I hate it. We'll see.
Alright, that's it for now. Good night, everyone.
Good night, hey, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy... I think Hanukkah's still going on.
Kwanzaa's
is going to start soon, I believe.
Yeah, Kwanzaa, yeah.
We might do one more podcast before the New Year. I don't know if... Do you think the Beastars one will premiere before New Year's or after?
Let me check really quick.
I think before, as long as there's no delays.
Yeah, before. It's because Wednesday is the 30th.
Yeah. So we'll talk about Beastars. That'll be the last podcast of the year. And then Celeste will have the honors of the very first podcast of the new year.
Hey.
No, no pressure or anything.
No pressure. I'm gonna pick the best film out of everything. You know that already.
Yeah.